Alright, can everyone hear me now? Perfect. Okay, just gonna wait one more minute now that we have the mic issue resolved, waiting to see if anyone else shows. If not, no worries, we'll start. Alright, well, as I said, welcome to my stream of Child of Light. It's one of those games that came out, I believe, 4 years ago, and it's one of those games that I still love playing. I actually finally just got 100% completion on it. We are going to be starting a brand new game. I had thought about doing New Game Plus on Expert. However, there was some technical difficulties with linking my profile to Twitch, so we're just going to start a brand new game. So one of the things I really love about this game is just the ethereal beauty of the artwork. They did a lot of watercolors just to make it very surreal and fairy tale like.
Aurora was his daughter.
I'm not sure I can skip over this, so sorry guys.
Beloved by her father. He raised the girl alone.
So it's kind of explaining the story a little bit.
Till the Duke felt lonely and misplaced his heart.
So everything in this game is done in poetry and rhyming scheme. Again, just to make it that more of a fairy tale look.
Bride at his side. That night, Aurora went to sleep. The fire burned down low. She caught a chill that spread. Her skin was cold as snow. At dawn they found her, vacant, Aurora's light gone out. Her father wept and pleaded, but there could be no doubt. For all intents and purposes, Aurora was dead. And yet, once upon a time, she awoke in a strange land instead.
So we have the beginning of the game. Aurora has just died, but she has woken up inside this kind of fairy tale dream. And the interesting thing about this game is it is an Ubisoft. I actually tend to avoid Ubisoft games just because of the whole DRM fiasco back in the day, but I just couldn't say no to this one. Okay, so let's start the game. We've awoken up in this kind of nightmare world. One of the really interesting things here is just how small Aurora actually looks. Just to kind of give it a scale of how kind of powerless she is against the entire thing. So the fluidity of the platforming is something I absolutely love. It just feels so perfect. It's not really something that you can appreciate until I think you actually play the game. Probably not going to comment as much as I normally would, just because it's such a surreal, personal experience playing through it. I think it really does speak for itself. Loved when I was playing through it again. It's just, again, how it's just so perfectly fluid when you're jumping through that. So all the dialogue in this game is done in a poetic style, again, just to enhance the dreamy fairy tale-like quality of it. From what I understood, from what they did when they were doing the art for the game, everything is the concept art. They would draw a frame and basically scan it into the game the same day. So it's meant to have that very haunting watercolor-like to it. This is our little firefly. He basically keeps it so we aren't completely alone the entire game. I know that it does have a setting where it blocks all these little cutscenes, so I'm just going to try and skip through them as quickly as possible. But basically, the little firefly is meeting us for the first time, saying, hey, let's go see the Lady of the Forest. Maybe she can help you get this out of this nightmare. Now we have a little friend that we can control. This is a particularly cool part. I always liked it, watching the giant go through. It does vibrate the controller, so you really feel the thuds of his steps. Here it's introducing the Wishes plant. They're pretty nice because they will restore your health as Firefly's power, and use your magic power as well. So here we come to the first puzzle of the game. These puzzles are pretty easy. I think there was only one I had some problems with, and then that was it, and that's the very end of the game. A lot of the puzzles have to do with light mechanics, lighting things up. Again, it is Child of Light. The main character's name is Aurora, so again, referring like to light and the dawn. I do love the loading screens. Again, the little ink blots making it look like a fairy tale book. And our first battle. So this is based off of JRPG, Japanese role-playing games, turn-based style. Since we did just start a new game, we don't really have any spells. We do use the Firefly to slow the enemies from their casting abilities, which is incredibly helpful, especially when you're facing multiple fast enemies. So we can see we're kind of burning through his light power. One of the cool things about this one is you can, using the little Firefly's power, you can just skip past enemies because he shines so bright it stops the enemies in their tracks, because they are definitely sensitive to light. So we ran out of light, so he's going to come and attack us now. Let's fill up on some light and some health. Speed it up a little bit here just to get over the first battle. So the combat's really not too difficult. I don't think it really is supposed to be difficult. It's more one of those games they want you to experience. Okay, so here we've leveled up. Personally, I like going with Starlight and Skill Tree first. One of your magic powers. You also get Light Ray. So I think we'll just go ahead and do Light Ray. So now we actually have a spell we can use. If you catch these guys off guard, you actually get a bonus in your battle, so you get to go a little bit faster than normal. I have to admit, after playing on New Game Plus, it's really weird to be so slow during battle. I had a lot of different bonuses from crafting mats and such. I'll have to come back to that chest a little bit later. So here's another kind of distorted grasshopper. Okay, so it looks like we're out of magic, so we're just gonna have to slash them. It looks like we leveled up again. So why don't we go ahead and take the time, we'll do the first part of Starlight, and next time I get some magic points we can actually take a look and see what they look like. So yeah, I'm pretty cheap. I do pretty much try and get the Surprise Strike bonus every time. I don't always succeed, but... So here's Light Ray. And then, of course, as you get more powerful, the spells themselves look a lot cooler. And we're going to get Matto some achievements on his profile. So the first part of the game, it's simply just platforming. That will change shortly. She is the Child of Light after all. Okay, so we've made it to chapter 2. And now we're going to start seeing some ruins and some other things going on. Okay, so this is kind of like our first enemy here. She's a banshee. So we're kind of exploring some hidden ruins here. It was ruins of an old monastery. The people of Lumeria, which is the setting of the game, no longer worship their gods, so all of the old altars and stuff have gotten corrupted. We leveled up again. Let's take a point in magic defense. Cannot go wrong with that. This game, as you can probably tell, was heavily inspired by Final Fantasy and Chrono Trigger, although they did not want to make it as hard. Again, it's more about the experience. So you do pick up different gems along the way. You can craft them. We only have one. Well, we have two. So we'll go ahead and stick a socket in our sword, and we'll go ahead and stick an earth damage resist in our armor. There's a treasure chest back here. Okay, so now we found a gargoyle. Again, we're going to go kind of cheese it out and get the bonus for a surprise attack. I figure, you know, you've got horrible monsters against an 8-year-old girl. It's fair. I just love this game. Like, even the battles, they're not supposed to be super exciting, just watching the artwork. And I was right about the chest. Awesome. I don't use a whole lot of items in this game. Kind of just hoard them, but there's definitely a couple battles where you do end up needing some. So we've got a little firefly guy to light the way here. So we've got kind of a faster enemy, so we're going to probably want to take him out first. One of the main components about this system, this combat system, is interrupting your enemies before they have a chance to cast their spells or do their damage attacks. You can sort of see me zipping the firefly around combat zone to get more health. So again, just looking at the scale of everything in the game, you've just got this tiny little girl against an entire nightmare. Who's calling our name? I'm doing a little bit more combat than I would normally, because we definitely need some levels, and this is just an easy early way to get some. So we got a crit on that one, which is pretty nice. So again, managing the interrupt system is the easiest way to win in combat. If you don't have that managed, you're not going to be able to win your battles. Okay, so this is probably our second puzzle. Again, not terribly difficult. We just have to figure out how to get through the door on the right-hand side of the screen. Our little firefly buddy comes in handy. Oh. I think we missed something. Let's go back down. Alright, we got through the door. Do this battle. CM Pretty says, fun game. Hope they make another / spiritual successor. Yeah, I agree. I don't know if you read any of the confessions or not, but it definitely seemed like there was supposed to be something that was like a DLC or a sequel or something, but I guess that never materialized. I got interrupted there. Let's do a quick attack because they're about to hit me. Yeah, I was reading through all the confessions this week, and it's really odd trying to piece together what exactly is happening in the background of the story, exactly what Lumeria is, how it started, why darkness overtook the land. It seems like they did use a kind of a basis of a myth. It's not it's almost like a Atlantis myth, the lost continent of Lumeria. It's a real thing. Poe talked about it in one of his stories, and that's basically where they got the inspiration from Lumeria. It was supposed to be somewhere between India and I think Australia. I can't quite remember offhand. Okay, so now we're going to be able to find out who is crying for help. Again, another light puzzle. Looks like we have someone else joining us. Thanks for checking out my my playthrough of Child of Light. Yeah, usually whenever I stream, I always do like background research on the game, just to come up. My favorite streamers always talk a lot about like the behind the scenes stuff, a lot of the trivia of the game. So. There we go. So again, cutscenes for this game have been blocked out for spoilers. Okay. So I don't know if this one will be for sure or not. Just let me know if you can't see it. Okay. So we've unlocked the light puzzle and then got attacked by the Guardians. So we're gonna try and kill them before they kill us. Again, we're gonna try and slow them down so they can't hurt us as quite as bad. Okay, so speed increase, they basically can go through their turns a lot quicker. Looks like I'm out of magic, so we're gonna hopefully this will kill off that one. Did. So what we're gonna do is see if we can get some more magic here. Again, by blasting him with light from our Firefly, it does make them a lot slower. It's just, it runs out. The good thing is we've interrupted his last 3 attacks. That was mismanagement on my time. I should have I should not have slowed him down and let him cast, since he was unable to interrupt me in the casting part. Okay, cool. Well, for Guardians, they weren't that hard. We did receive some magic stardust, which will permanently increase our magic, which is pretty desperately needed. I usually play Aurora as primary as a magic user. Oh, hi, Robo! Thanks for showing up! So I believe this is cut out. This is a cut scene. You're seeing the lady in the mirror who has been rescued by you.
Shone upon a land of sequined valleys and peaks of white. And at night,
and it's basically telling you the story of how there was the Queen of Light, and she ruled over the stars and the moon and the sun.
Each night
she was lonely,
alone. Her luminosity dawned.
So she decided to go.
Until one night there was no trace.
She left permanently. She had vanished, and the light left.
Resided in its place. A usurper,
and a dark queen came and usurped the throne.
The sun, the stars, and
it does. It's one of my favorite games. It's just absolutely beautiful.
And Umbra's dark creatures conquered the land. Our lives soon snuffed
out
by a wave of her hand.
So I'll just let it stay for herself. One of the cooler things about this game, as I was saying earlier here, Robo, is there's these little confessions that you find every once in a while. And it kind of gives you a very brief look at the background of the story. And basically, Lumeria, what kind of happened, there's a Lady of Light, but she had disappeared, and you are the Child of Light. So we just found out that our father is dying, so Aurora is really trying to figure out how to get out of this nightmare so she can go back home and save her father. And this is probably one of my favorite parts of the game, where she gets her wings. I think you guys are about a minute or so behind. So we got a flute, we have wings, and we have to find the moon and the sun. The stars became our wings.
And so Aurora wandered, the twilight forest far from home, starlight only to guide her, except for a firefly alone. Anxious for the comforts of family,
and you can see kind of the scale of this game. She's so small.
A father to embrace her. And somewhere in the night, perched upon a throne in the dark, waited Umbra, a usurper, to snuff out Aurora's spark.
There's a lot of treasure chests and such that we've missed because you need your wings to get them. I think for the most part we'll just kind of skip out on going back and getting those. let's continue on here. We have our wings. So, again, I was saying that it was inspired by the combat, and everything was inspired by Final Fantasy, but I think the art style was definitely inspired by like Miyazaki and a couple other people. It's just a very distinctive watercolor, very haunting. There's one thing I did want to go back and get. It was a little... There we go. So those little things we find flying, so we just picked up some Stardust, which permanently increases our magic, or our hit points, and then we have Magic Stardust, which permanently increases our magic. Since Robo hasn't seen any of the battle, let's go ahead and do that. So again, I'm stunning the gargoyle so we get our surprise attack bonus. I know, it's, like I was saying, it's a 4-year-old game, and it's probably one of my favorites. I usually don't buy Ubisoft games as a rule, but I had to make an exception for this. Okay, so the combat's gonna get a little bit more difficult. We've got 3 guys to contend with instead of just our 1. So let's see if we can kill the Banshee first. Knock out 1 off the battlefield. Perfect. And the gargoyle. So again, that gargoyle is probably going to end up interrupting us before we can cast a spell. So we're going to try and see if we can beat him out with a really fast attack with the sword. Okay. Oh, hi, Undead. Thanks for showing up. I think we have enough time to do a spell, so let's try getting the spider out next. Oh, we're getting a little beat up here, so let's throw a healing potion. Uh-oh. Now we're in trouble. So we are going to defend, which is instant. Hopefully we can last until we can take a potion. Okay, finally down to 1. So this is a battle, I should have picked up another party member, but I decided to go back here first, which was kind of a mistake, but live and learn. It is, I actually have a game on New Game Plus, and it's just so much different. I'm so used to being able to like one-shot everything. I was playing Expert on New Game Plus, and even though it does increase the hardiness of the enemies and everything, it's it was a lot easier. So one of the other things I really like about this game, so you'll notice how our Firefly's magic is full. Well, his magic works on us as well. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of healing. Well, looks who we found someone. And also our... Let's go ahead and recruit her. She's a very terrible gesture. She never rhymes properly. It's kind of her shtick. And she wants us to find her brother for her. So she's going to join us because we are going to help her find her brother. And we definitely need someone, so yes. I think it's kind of handy how... There we go. Let's get some magic points and hit points recovered. There's supposed to be a confession around here. I can't quite remember where it is, though. And for Robo and anyone else who hasn't played this game, confessions are basically little snippets that different characters are writing. So some of the confessions are like Aurora's mother, just like little different snippets of background information of what's going on. This game's very, very interesting because it never really reveals exactly what happened. I have never actually found this before. Let's see what's inside. So we're just gonna be really careful to avoid all those brambles. Okay, we got a jewel from it. Oh, cool! Yeah, some more HP, permanent HP increase. Yeah, I've never found this area before. Yeah, it is definitely one of my favorite games. A little... Okay, so we have 2 people now. Let's try a little bit of a harder enemy. Okay. So, we are gonna kill that guy first, because he's obnoxious. So you might be wondering what's with the crown Aurora is wearing. She is the daughter of a duke, but it's just a little crown that her dad, it's like a fake crown that her dad gave her because she's his princess. But it definitely is meaningful later in the game. Excellent, we've got some leveled up going on. Again, this game, it's not supposed to be super hard, it's just more about the experience. So we're going to go ahead and level up because we have 3 levels and our new girl has 3 levels as well. So let's see. I think we're going to do we're going to go stick with going through the Starlight upgrades first with her. And I think we're going to do the the tumble upgrades with her first. Just get her some better skills to help us. She's the Jester's our healer character, so she's not that great. So any little bit of extra helps. I'm sorry guys, I just can't find that confession, so we're just gonna go ahead and move on. One of the things I could do over and over again is just go through all this and kind of just fly around everywhere. A lot of this game is showing how Aurora goes from this little girl to being grown up. Which I think is a really cool feature. Okay, so we did not get our surprise bonus this time, so it's going to be a little bit trickier, but hopefully we'll still be able to make it through, okay? So we're just going to do a lot of really quick attacks, trying to out-time the rest of the bad guys. So we've got a couple more gems. Let's go ahead and apply those. So again, there's a kind of a crafting system with the gems. There's some really, really neat gems you can make later on in the game. Right now we have very, very, very basic ones. So we're going to give her some lightning on her weapon. So again, don't really feel like dealing with a spider. We're just going to through him. Yeah, let's fight that evil grasshopper. He got us last time. Snow in Canada. I'm actually from Vancouver. We never had snow. If it got like 3 centimeters, the entire city would shut down. Okay, so you can sort of see where our levels came in handy there. Went the wrong way. It is beautiful, yeah. Got another level. No, it really doesn't age. Like I said, this is a 4-year-old game, and I just got the last 2 achievements yesterday. I don't know if anyone else saw that tweet of mine having to log into my Ubisoft account, but one of the achievements was to log into your Ubisoft account for it and then send one of those gems to a friend. So I did that and sent it to Matto's account because, well, finish leveling up there. So again, one of the things about this game is always exploring, trying to see if you've missed anything in like a treasure chest. It's just a really relaxing little game. I just love it so much. I spotted on 360 shortly after it came out, played through about half of it, and then I can't remember what happened, but I had stopped playing it. I got back to it quite a while back and played through it, then reopened my New Game Plus game this week to kind of go through it some more, and I just love it so much. I just never get tired of it. I'm always looking at some new detail or something I missed the first or second time I played through. Let's go ahead and pause it, take a look at the chat. If you don't mind me asking, Undead, what is it that you do? Are you traveling for work? Oh, cool. I always wanted to do something like that, but then I got cats. I was actually majoring in archaeology for a while, but I don't think I could leave home for that long. So again, I know it's kind of boring, but we definitely need the level ups for later in the game, so I'm just gonna be going through and killing off as many guys as I can. Oh! Had a slow spell put on us. That's okay though. Let's see what's up here. So again, like I said, a lot of it's just going through the same places. It's not exactly a Metroidvania game by any means, but a lot of it is going back, finding stuff that you missed. A little bit later in the game, when you start able to fast travel, it shows you like what collectibles you've gotten, what you're missing, and stuff like that. So. one thing that's you have to kind of pay attention to, but as you progress through the game, Aurora kind of goes from being a bit of a spoiled brat to a very regal lady. Yeah, I love archaeology, especially Mesopotamian archaeology, but if you know anything about the area, it's kind of been war-torn since the early 90s. But I wanted to learn cuneiform and find out about humanity's first civilization, but I don't really think I'm that type of person that can just get up and go and leave for 6-8 months at a time, you know? It's kind of an esoteric game. I'm not really surprised. I know, right? I think the flying's definitely an important element to just the story flow, just to add to that kind of dreamlike quality. Just everything they did with this game is just perfect. And I'm not sure if it's broadcasting in high enough def for you to see, but she does have those little wings. Yeah, I think they pulled from there. Obviously, Miyazaki. There's a couple other artists that they pulled from. It's just got that very distinctive art style. Okay, I think we've got leveled up again, so let's go ahead and... I'm one of those people that I kind of stick with a level off path, and that's what I'll stick with until it's done. I believe there's a chest down here. Yes. Yeah, I really wanted to broadcast New Game Plus for everyone, because you could see like the full array of how cool the spells look like once they're leveled up and everything, but with the Twitch restrictions, it just wasn't possible. We're eventually going to get the equipment where it's not going to be a big deal, but it's kind of expensive, so it's just going to be on the back burner for a little bit. I figure like once we play through this is going to be part 1. I'll probably do another video of it if anyone likes it in a couple months or maybe a couple weeks. But once we actually play through it, I'll probably do an actual video of just New Game Plus, just to show everyone how cool it looks. And how easy everything is. New Game Plus, everything gets obliterated in one hit. Ah, and another achievement for Meadow. I think I'm going to have to make him play something that I wouldn't play on my profile. Let's see if there's anything up here. Yep. games. Yeah, definitely I will. Like I said, if you guys really like it, I wouldn't mind doing more of it. I love it. Just let me know when you guys get bored and I'll stop streaming it, but like I could seriously sit here all day and play it. See anything up this way? I let Matto decide which streaming we're going to use, so I'll let him explain why we're not using Mixer. Well, when we decided to start streaming, I work a pretty high-stress job, so he was like, I don't want to make work for you doing something that's supposed to be fun, so I'll do all the legwork on everything, and all you have to do is stream. So I felt that it was pretty fair. Alright, let's see where we're gonna go. We're gonna go to the Tree of Thorns. If anyone watched my short little video on it this morning, that's where that was in the Tree of Thorns. Oh, shoot. So we're not going to be able to catch up to him before he casts. So what we're going to do is going to do a defend on this one. Her hair is gorgeous. Let's see here. And we leveled up, so I'm just gonna go ahead and level up really quickly here. So, I was reading through like all the little confessions, which again are the little flavor texts that you find hidden throughout the game, and it's pretty hard to figure out exactly what's going on. But the backstory for Luminera seems to be that it's this kind of world that's almost like a parallel reality to Earth. It's a lost continent that was taken out of our normal dimension. Aurora's mom was the Queen of Light. She left the kingdom for whatever reason, and she came and she married the Duke, had the daughter Aurora. In the meantime, her arch nemesis, the Evil Queen, came and took over Lumeria, and that's why you have all these dark creatures. Now the flavor texts are kind of showing that Lumeria was kind of founded by 4 explorers, possibly Romans, who ended up finding the lost continent. Somewhere around the 1300s, they began to fight, or their descendants came in and broke out in war, and 2 of the houses were completely obliterated, and it was just the Queen of Light and one of the other houses. The Queen of Light banished the other house, and that would be how the Evil Queen is there, and we don't really know why the Queen of Light left Lumeria after that, but it's possible that Lumeria was itself dying, so she was trying to bring back like new people to help rebuild. So it's pretty confusing, and a lot of people thought they were going to introduce that in DLC or in a Child of Light 2, but they never did, so they left it very ambiguous. Oh, hey, Dave! It really is a fantastic game. Like, I just cannot stop saying that. So these guys, I usually like to take out the annoying guys first, the smaller guys, and then we'll work on the giant. Aurora is a magic user, so she's a little bit more squishy. I don't think we're gonna be able to outcast them in speed, so we're gonna go ahead and defend both these turns. The game does have co-op. You see the little firefly flitting around the screen. So another player can actually take over him. So I guess technically, but there's really not a need. It looks like we are starting to lose some health here, so let's go ahead. Hopefully we'll... Let's go ahead and take a potion since our heal failed. I have to admit, it's kind of weird having to actually take healing potions. I've been playing on New Game Plus a lot. Let's go ahead and heal with these wishes. So that was a good interrupt. He won't be able to hit us that round. Oh, just missed the interrupt. There we go, got him. One nice thing about the level ups is that you're completely healed afterwards. Let's just take a look to see if there's anything up here real quick. Okay, so here's the first confession that we found. The confessions are out of order, so I think that's actually only the second one we would have been able to find. We'll go ahead and skip reading it, just because I am not in the mood for poetry. Everything in this game is in poetry. So again, if you guys were watching that video I made this morning, this is the Tree of Thorns. Just looking at the scale of it, again, everything's just to show how small Aurora is compared to the rest of everything. And here's our first griffin. We're definitely going to use a surprise attack on that one. How many confessions do you need to find? I can't quite remember. I think there's 15 or 16 in total. On my game, I have all of them. There's an achievement for doing it, or a trophy if you're playing on PlayStation. But they're not really, you don't have to find them. They just kind of are flavor text to show the background. A couple of them are really, really confusing because the game takes place in the 1800s. It refers to people that were exploring in the Roman times and also in the 1300s. But you also find confessions from a modern day girl, so I don't know if they're trying to allude to the fact that, you know, Lumeria is outside of time somehow, because a lot of the confessions are made by a girl talking about the internet and about computers, so it's a little weird. Okay, I think we'll go ahead and kill the spiders first. So probably a good thing that I had actually gone ahead and used the jewels in our weapons. It's definitely helping. The first time I played it, I had no idea and kept skipping through all that, which was kind of a bad move. That's just bad game playing right there. A lot of time for weaker enemies, I don't like wasting my magic points on. The griffin's a little bit tougher, so... or not. Okay, so we have a couple more jewels. I'm going to go ahead and put them into our stuff here. So give me just a second to do that. So a 5% chance of evading while casting, we want that. And let's go ahead and get Rubella some. So we'll give her water. There's not really any water type enemies in the game, so I always found that kind of unnecessary, but whatever. Go ahead and level up a little bit. Well, no harm done. We got hit by the bramble. We'll just heal a little bit using Firefly. Big spider, big spider. Yeah, Matt was pretty sick yesterday. He started getting a fever like in the middle of his playthrough. So, he just kind of had to call it a little bit of a day there. It was pretty bad, but... Yeah, Inside is a fantastic game. I highly recommend people pick it up. Yeah, I think you're only like 40 minutes into it when you stopped. So again, I don't know if anyone can really see, but you'll see me flitting the Firefly between enemies. That means I'm just trying to keep them slowed down, so they don't have the chance to cast a spell before I can hit them. Yeah, it's one of the criticisms I actually got for the combat system was from one of the Final Fantasy developers, and he's like, it's too easy, because what they did is even the bosses have vulnerability to light, which makes sense because they're, creatures of darkness. So in game they are actually vulnerable to light, where in Final Fantasy the bosses were not going to be vulnerable to much of anything. But again, it's not supposed to be a difficult game. Ooh, dodged. Aurora was too slow. Hey, Cheese! Thanks for coming out. So we're gonna go and get one of the optional battles up here, up the tree, just because I think he's kind of cool looking. Okay, we are gonna get this spider first. Again, I try not to use my magic points, especially this early in the game, on like little enemies like this, just because you need them for later on, especially with the guy we're going to be fighting. I'm actually not a huge Final Fantasy fan myself either, Dave. Or Undead. I liked 10, but true story. I would get to about 3/4 of the game, and our PlayStation 2 would die, and that happened about 4 times. And I said, "Fuck it! I'm no longer playing this game." I was pretty skeptical about it. The whole, I kind of got burnt out with the one, was it 12 with lightning? Because I was drinking vodka and going through the same path for 9 hours. Matt and one of our friends came home from work, and there was me sitting on the sofa with a open bottle of vodka. I didn't even bother with the glasses, going, I played this for 9 hours. And I never picked it up again. I know, right? He's not actually the boss I'm gonna be killing. 9 hours, seriously. 9 hours going through the same path. And I was just sitting there drinking vodka. After about the second hour, the vodka came out because I knew it wasn't going to end. But I tried. I tried so hard. I'm just thankful it was a game I had borrowed from a friend, so I didn't actually waste money on it. Oh, good. Rum is always happy. I just happen to have vodka on hand. My drink of choice, well, lately I've been drinking a lot of Moscow Mules just because I love ginger, but back in the day my drink of choice was Crown and Coke. I drank so much of it. I was pretty much a professional lush. Okay, so here is where our optional boss is gonna be. There he is. Kind of a big guy. We're gonna stun him first to be cheap about it, so we get the surprise attack. Uh-oh. Wah-wah, Dave. Wah-wah. Cherry Coke and ice. Diet Cherry Coke. I think this guy's gonna be the fastest. Not sure if she's gonna be fast enough to tumble before he attacks, but we'll take a look. Oh, she was. Okay, one down. And we're out of light power, so we'll go ahead and eat these wishes. One-shotted, nice. Okay, so we're actually gonna burn some magic here. like spiders either, RoboClay. I really, really don't like them. And you'd think with the cats we have in the house, we wouldn't have a spider issue, but they pretty much just like watching the spider crawl across the carpet. How many cats does it take to eat a spider? I don't know. It's more than 3. Alright guys, that was the first optional boss. Not too bad. One of the reasons I like doing the optional bosses is because they give us permanent enhancements. Okay, went ahead and leveled up. Let's go ahead and... So we have 2 permanent hit point increase and 1 permanent defense increase. So we're going to go ahead and use them all. I think there's probably a reason we can't add gifts to chat. It would be devolved so quickly. So exactly what we'd need, another cake fart. Oops. Gonna hit some bramble, we'll go ahead and heal up. Shit, I didn't even see that spider. Okay, I know for a fact we're coming up to kind of a villagey area, so I'm just gonna burn some magic just to get this done. Oh, and she did get Tumble All, so we'll be able to actually use our first all spell, which is nice. And it's still a fast one, too. Matt just got another achievement. Tell you I'm gonna have to make him play something on my profile. I'm just kind of looking for chests, seeing if there's anything. Oh, there's another confession. Again, they are out of order, but I believe this is the 3rd one that you're able to get, even though it is confession 8. Another achievement for Matt. And our first village. So yeah, there's no people in this village, but there are a lot of crows, which is pretty suspicious. We're just gonna go break into their houses and steal their gems. I have no idea. I'm just gonna break into houses. Oh, someone's crying. So we found a little gnome guy, and we're trying to find out if he has the sun or the moon. Because remember, we have to find the sun and the moon in order to find our way home and defeat the evil queen. So we just learned that the Dark Queen has turned the entire village into crows. So we are going to help the little gnome guy called Finn to free them. Let's break into more houses while they're still crows and can't do anything about it. Well, the Queen of Light held the stars, the moon, and the sun, and that's how she kept everything light. And the Dark Queen stole the sun and the moon. The stars, the light of, were turned into our wings. Pretty much exactly how I feel about it, Dave. Yeah, I totally get that. So now we have a new party member. And he's more of a elemental. So we have Aurora, who does light magic. We have our healer, which is the Gesture. And we also have a elemental guy now. Okay, guys, I'm actually going to take a screenshot of this because this looks beautiful. Oh, I can't. Probably because I'm on Twitch. Oh well. So we're in a cave trying to figure out how to cure everyone from being crows. This is the lowest of the low, so maybe there's a moon or a sun down here. So you're only allowed to have, I believe, 2 people doing your fighting. So I always have Aurora and then another party member. I didn't really use the elemental magic guy in my first playthrough a lot. I felt he was kind of weak, so I'm just not really going to use him. But it does have that same sort of Final Fantasy element where they're still technically in your party. And he's just having a bit of a panic attack because he doesn't like the dark and the cold. Seeing if there's anything I missed. Nope. It's pretty dark and pretty cold. Okay, so... Oh, hey, it's a man bear pig. Oh, sorry, undead. Yeah, so basically you are a daughter of a duke. The day that the duke got married, Aurora got sick, laid down in her bed and died, and woke up in this nightmare. We have already found out that her dad is dying of heartbreak, so we're trying desperately to get out of the nightmare and back into the waking world to save our dad. Come on, does he not look like a man-bear pig? I'm gonna have to... Looks like a lot of them are fire resistant down here. Which is weird because it's all ice, but whatevs. We'll have to switch out our fire for something else. Yeah, it's meant to look like a fairy tale, and to play like a fairy tale. So, give me just a sec, guys. I'm going to switch out the ruby. I think we're going to do some lightnings. I think that's what the other girl has, and it's actually working. Yeah, it is. And let's go ahead and level up just a little bit here. And we have our new guy. Do I want to go with him with lightning, fire, or water? Let's go with fire. Okay, so this would be the way to get through. There's quite a bit of puzzles and treasures that I've skipped out on, so I'm actually going to go back and grab all that treasure. Nope. So there we go, we got another permanent boost to our stats. I was saying when at the very beginning of the stream, Lumeria is based off of an old legend, very, very similar to Atlantis, the lost city of, or the lost continent of Lumeria. It was supposed to be somewhere between India and Australia, got flooded, so they used that as kind of the basis of what's going on here. Switching to lightning was definitely a good call. Out of there before we get... So let's see what we can find. So again, I'm doing a lot of battles just so we can level up because they're not really hard, but the bosses in this game can take forever if you're not leveled up properly. One thing I do like about combat in this game is if one of your other party members happens to kill an enemy that you've already slated, it just puts you on a different enemy, so it saves like an entire turn that would have otherwise been missed. Okay, so I think we got the main thing here, which was the magic. I'm going to go ahead and apply that. So yeah, HP Stardust, so permanently increases our hit points by 5. And there's quite a few of them in the game. A lot of people spread them out to all of their characters. I generally don't. I just pretty much stick them on Aurora, because again, she is a mage and kind of squishy. Okay, so another little light puzzle. Again, all the puzzles in the game are light puzzles. Not terribly difficult. Let's see. Oop. So our little firefly friend's a little bit nervous. If you come back as Zap Brannigan in your next life, you have to say the man with no name, like, probably 50 times a day. Otherwise, I won't accept that you're really Zap Brannigan. Go ahead and level us up again real quick. Oh! Okay, so now we found an enemy we're probably going to want to switch over to water damage for. It's one of the nice things about this game, you can just switch to whatever you need it to be. Yeah, your girdle is going to be really important. Yeah, I know, I agree. You can really definitely change things up on the fly. One of the other things you can do is switch out characters on the fly. So if you have a character that's almost dead, you can switch them out. Or if you're in a battle where you're just not, one character's not properly equipped, again, you can just switch it out. So I'm having a little bit of trouble because I swapped both of them out, so that's okay. We still got through it. So I think... see what the other enemies are like. We might end up swapping everything out again. So we found one of the villagers. He's a crow. See if there's anything good up here. Oh, perfect. We found another permanent increased magic. Again, it's not like a Metroidvania game. And there's another confession you can see. Definitely should have switched everything out. That's okay. So we're gonna go ahead and magic these fuckers. Again, that's why I saved my magic. It was a come on, actually. Okay, now these guys are just making me kind of mad, so... we'll definitely have to remember to switch out the elemental damage right after this battle. Critical hit with 16 damage. Oh my gosh, that's so sad. Okay, so we are out of lightning bug magic, so we can't slow them anymore. Dodged. So this is kind of what like a boss battle would be if we weren't leveled up properly, just taking forever. Okay, let's go ahead and switch out our... well, let's do our skills first, and then we'll switch out our magic. I think we'll start on the healing tree for our gesture. There we go. so this should be a little bit better, hopefully. So I just misjudged there. I should have... Oh well, he died anyway, so that works out. I feel like I missed something down, so we're gonna go back down before we go further. Yeah. Little chest. Let's see what's going on over here. So it looks like we have a corrupted altar and a boss fight. Uh-oh. I was totally not prepared for this. I totally forgot this was even here. So... Good thing we have lots of potions. I feel like we're gonna need them. So for this battle, I usually just pick a head and just kill that off, because it's a lot easier to kill one off at a time. That way you're not getting hit with 3 angles. Okay, so there's obviously no way we're going to be able to beat him, so we're going to go ahead and defend. Okay, so we're actually starting to get a little low on health, so I'm going to go ahead and grab this guy, one of the wishes. Every boss battle, they'll give you like 2 or 3 wishes plants so that you can regen on health without having to use a potion and wasting a turn, which is seriously helpful. No, we're not going to use a potion. I think we're going to go ahead and cast Defend. Okay, got one down. Okay, so Aurora went with the ice one, so we'll go ahead and kind of follow suit. We're not going to be able to beat them again, so we're going to go ahead and defend for both Aurora and Rubella. What's your obsession with Guy Fieri's hair? I just think it would probably touch. Ugh, gross. Okay, we're gonna use a potion here. Two down. We're out of magic. That's okay. Go ahead and use our last wish plant. Okay, Aurora's starting to get down on life, but we'll be fine. I don't think there's too much more left. Actually, I think we'll go ahead and take a potion. Yeah, so that was a huge part of it, was making her look like she's underwater, just very dreamy, very surreal. That was actually intentionally done by the artists. I don't know if you were here when I said it, but there was no real game art to this. They basically drew up the concept art and scanned it in screenshot or screen by screen. Okay, so you notice how the wish plant came back, but it's not going to give us health anymore. It's just respawned as firefly energy. There we go. That wasn't too bad. For our first, real boss, that wasn't bad. So we've purified the basin, and I believe we're gonna get the moon from this. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, it's a dream. So you get to see a vision of your dad. He basically became listless in bed and won't get up because Aurora died. His heart's breaking, and he's dying because of it. There's not a whole lot of bosses in this game. Okay. Well, guys, I think once we get out of here, it's going to be a good time to stop. So give it just a few minutes here. Okay, yeah, so I think this is going to be a good stopping point for the day. We've gone through the first couple of chapters. We've rescued the village from being all crows. we just saw a vision of our dad who's dying, so that'll probably be part 2, is trying to get back to him. So Aurora's pretty upset because she just wants to get home and they're asking her to help her people, so she's going to play her magic flute. Well, thank you guys for showing up. I really appreciate it. I really didn't think anyone would. It's a really esoteric game. It's probably not the most fun stream ever to watch, but I think it's a really important game, and it is definitely one of my favorites. So again, we've saved all the people. We're just trying to get back to our dad, and yeah, Matt got another achievement. So thanks again so much for coming, everyone. Did you have any other questions about the game or anything before I completely shut it down? Thank you. I'm really glad that you guys enjoyed it. I'm really it's such a really cool game. It's a beautiful game. So, and like I said, I could have gone all night, but I'll spare you guys that. If since you guys like it so much, I think there probably will be a part 2. Maybe in a week or so, maybe next weekend. I'm not sure. We'll definitely take a look at our stream schedule. I am doing 2 streams next week, Friday and Saturday, so maybe it'll make it on one, just depending on what you guys think. But I really appreciate you guys all coming out and hanging out with me. Again, I think it's such an important game, and a beautiful game, so I'm glad you guys wanted to check it out. I'll be here if you guys will. So have a good rest of your week, guys. Again, thank you so much for coming out, everyone. I really do appreciate it. And have a good rest of your night, okay?